honorable colleague, Honorable Nomvalo, the issue which he was trying to traverse with you was that the Busasa story of Andile, you said that Paul O'Sullivan called you. He was called by Bejane, Dr. Bejane Chauke, am I right?
No. Paul, I don't know who he contacted or how. He wanted to get Andile Ramaphosa's version of events on the allegations that were made in an affidavit in respect of corruption or corruption adjacent allegations to do with the Bosasa.
Yeah.
And that's how it sort of came about, yeah.
So it was Dr. Chauke who called Paul. That's what he told you.
Oh, yes. And
that's
that's
what
how,
he said anyway, yes.
So, yes.
Yeah. Now, in the case of Dudu, Zuma, Sambuka, was it who said you must open a case against her? Was it Paul or was it Andy Ramaphosa? Was it the President Ramaphosa? Was it Dr. Chauke? Or you opened that case on your own?
I opened the case, but Paul had called and said, "Have you seen what's going on? We should open a case." And I said, "No problem. I'll open it. I'll be the complainant." And that was how it happened. He was overseas.
Right. Let's come to the issue. I want us to be clear about this matter. Your relationship with Robert McBride, you said it's a social relationship.
Semi-social. I mean, we're not like friends.
Yes.
It was, I don't know if you know when you've got an attraction to someone, but you're not interested in like a relationship or anything like that. It's we're all human.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. And it had nothing to do with let's hang out so that and you can do this for me at IPID or anything like that.
Yeah, I just wanted to clear up there because you ended up saying to Honorable Nomvalo that you were once in a room, not in a restaurant, you and him. Am I right?
Yes. I mean,
the rest is history, I guess. Thank you. Now, let's come to the issue. Mr. O'Sullivan said he had visited Patlane's home on his own without the IPID investigators before November 2016. Were you with Paul O'Sullivan on the day?
No.
If you were not with Paul O'Sullivan, or once you had Paul O'Sullivan going to Sable Hills to conduct an investigation, which law allowed you to do so?
Sorry, can just repeat that?
Which law allow you to visit a house of then acting commissioner Patlane in Sable Hill? Which law allow you that?
I don't know if there's a law that allows you to look at someone's house from the outside or not to look at it from the outside.
And I understand that. I'm still coming to that.
Okay.
Yes. Now, on that first occasion, I'm putting it to you now. There was no IPID.
Pardon?
There was no IPID. I'm asking you. There was no IPID. Did Paul told you that he went there alone?
When he went there alone?
Yes.
There wouldn't have been. Actually, I can't say that. I wasn't there. I didn't know. I don't know when it was.
You said the lifestyle audit on Patlane and his wife was done. Who conducted that lifestyle audit? And where's that lifestyle audit report as we speak now?
Mr. O'Sullivan did that, and I think he set out his findings, which includes the house and the building thereof, which would be in the criminal complaint with IPID.
But you drafted a statement of the people, among others, Alvin Duprisi, am I right?
Pardon?
You drafted a statement of people, among others. It was Alvin Duprisi, am I right?
Drafted statements.
Yes. Of people, among others. Yes.
I'm just trying to think. So if I can explain.
Okay, let me put it to you quick
Yeah.
because of time.
Yes, please.
You sent that draft to Mahlangu on his request. And where's that draft statement as we speak?
Which draft?
Remember, I asked you about the lifestyle audit,
Yes.
about the Patlane and Patlane's wife.
Yeah. Is this before the investigation started at IPID or?
No, even after you visited the Sable Hills.
Okay, no, I don't know.
Don't remember.
I thought that you meant the lifestyle audit that was in the criminal complaint.
I'm not sure why
So
are you mixing the two, but relax a bit.
Okay.
You went to Mr. Frick's Teterenplas, the building contractor
yes,
in Sinoville.
Correct.
With also Sullivan,
Correct.
Binang,
Correct.
Mahlangu.
Correct.
Right. The following day, after your visit, Mr. Terenplach and his wife workplace in Sinoville, you invited Mr. Terenplach to the office of IPID for a meeting. You provided
Yes.
him with an address of IPID offices and the time of which they must attend that meeting. Who gave you the authority to do so? Are you an IPID official?
I'm not.
But you invited them to come to IPID offices.
I did. I did, but we had been in the meeting, and so he knew that I wasn't an IPID official, and he knew that we were assisting. So it wasn't, and yeah, it was a message that was dictated to me while we were driving, and
were you a partner to O'Sullivan in the car company, a director for that matter?
From 2021.
From 2021.
Yeah, and it was, I think, until, so it was probably only a year.
So in 2015, when you were doing the Transnet, if you remember well, you remember the Transnet?
Was I doing in 2015?
Yes. Let me remind you before we come back.
Yes.
Because I want to follow this with you. In 2015, you call it any port in a storm. Do you remember that report?
What report?
Any port in a storm. It was authored by you. It was authored by you.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I do. It's
you remember that?
Yes.
You authored that report and O'Sullivan approved it.
Gosh, I can't even remember that one.
Yeah, hence I was asking you to say, you said you started in 2022 to become a director, am I right?
No, 2021.
2021. But for me, you are misleading this co-committee if you say so. Because this report, which was authored by you, drafted Sarah Jane Trent, Bachelor of Law, LLB, Executive Director, Sarah Trent, Forensic for Justice, and then approved by Paul O'Sullivan, a founder. That report was done in 2015. It's here with me in front of me.
Can I see that?
No, you'll see it. I'll send it to the...
Yeah.
Yeah, because remember you said...
I wouldn't have signed anything in 2015. I was...
No, in fact, I'm the one who was making a mistake.
Okay.
It was 2018.
2018.
Yes. So if you say you become a director in 2022, it's misleading. The report was done in 2018, 11, 18. You drafted an 18-page report. Yeah, okay, because of time.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
there you were,
I will follow up on
yeah,
that.
because there you were accusing the Mavundlas, the PG Mavundla,
I
the
remember that, yeah.
yeah, and the Italian car company. Now let's go back there. So, do you agree that you didn't become a director in 2022?
I'm just trying to think what happened there, why that would be. Can I come back to you on that?
It's fine.
Because
I'll give it to you. I'll
Pardon?
give it to the evidence leader. The
Please
report
do, and
which you
I
did.
can then go back and have a look and respond if
Yeah, now
you wouldn't mind.
you are the person who called McBride on his first day back in the office following his suspension and said to him that you are bringing a Patlane dossier to him. Who compiled that dossier? Who were the people's affidavits in that dossier?
I'm not sure if it was his first day back. Not that it matters, but who compiled that that was Mr. O'Sullivan.
Now, Ms. Trent, can you tell us about your investigation in the report of Transnet widening of Harbour project, which is alleged to have been terminated or set aside as a result of your report? Or I must just shy away because you say you don't remember anything about that.
I really don't, but I would be more than happy to go back and have a look, refresh my memory. And
yeah, because there were black
assist you.
companies, just to remind you.
Yeah.
There were black companies who were awarded a contract of 4.2 billion rand at Transnet. Now there was WPHO and Group 5, which indeed were the people who had an interest in that tender. And the rest is history, but I'll send you the report, and I'll send the evidence leader. Let's come now to the issue again. The allegation which you made yourself and Sullivan in that report. Anyway, let me just leave it because you said you don't have. I thought that you'll remember because it's not long anyway, because your partner, your court director says 40 years, 25, he can't remember. But you should remember, 2018 is not long, you know?
I remember the matter, but yeah.
Now, were you working with Mandla Mahlangu?
Yes, I didn't work with him. It's the same thing. If he needed something, but he was the one that I think I saw or met. If he came to the office and said, "Oh, can you quickly run a check for me?" But because I think he was the lead.
But you sent a memorandum, internal memorandum to Karen, who was speaking about the warrants of arrest. Do you know Karen?
No, I don't.
But it's your WhatsApp message.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but it's your WhatsApp message, to Karen Morgan. What do you call it? The surname? It's the journalist. Mon.
I can't remember.
No, but it's your WhatsApp to Mandla.
I don't know if it's my WhatsApp.
Remember what I'm reading from you here. There was a braai which took place at 3:00. You remember that braai?
At the infamous Kretcher house.
You were part of that braai?
Yes.
Now, you sent that email and you were speaking about the was it Nati Ntleko? The conflict with McBride. I mean, this is your conversation between yourself and Mahlangu.
I don't have any recollection of this. I have no idea.
You.
I have. When after my phone was taken, I never got any of those messages back.
Let me remind you. Mahlangu said to you You said to Mahlangu, morning, hope you are feeling better. What magistrate court will your section 205 go to? Just finishing the draft. That was you telling Mahlangu that you were finishing the draft.
I don't know what that's about.
Mahlangu responded to you, I'm much better today. I'm resting at home. Sorry, I didn't tell you. We actually done with 205 and have been signed directly today. Imane Cedric will take them to the banks. The one for Vodacom has been sent and signed by Cullinan Magistrate, and for the banks, it was Pretoria Magistrate Court. Did you have a good relationship with those courts?
No, I don't remember any of.
But what I don't understand, Sarah.
Yes.
You were controlling Mahlangu yourself and also Sullivan and Kabinde. You were controlling Mahlangu and Kabinde. You were drafting section 205 for them.
So
that's what you said. It's not me. Remember, it's your WhatsApp message.
The thing is, I dispute the WhatsApp messages, but you've put a question to me. So a section 205 affidavit is just an affidavit. So if you've done an investigation, I've done an investigation and I've put it together, right? You know what needs to go in the section 205, but I cannot issue or go to the court.
I understand that. But what I'm asking you, were you drafting section 205 for IPID? I mean, Mahlangu could not draft a section 205 for himself.
Oh, no, and I think he did. I don't, look, there was no bad faith. It was under pressure, lack of resources.
From
we have computers.
From IPID. IPID don't have those things we are mentioning.
No. I'm just saying that, like, we offer.
No, I understand that you offer.
Okay.
But I'm saying IPID does not have. I'm talking about the state here. That you were drafting for them a section 205 because they didn't have the capacity.
Oh, I cannot remember, and I don't know what it was, because it could have been just this sort of the skeleton of a statement, or it could have been, I don't know, but it wouldn't have been the actual official document. Sorry if I'm not answering.
But is that correct in your view?
What?
What you were doing with Mahlangu, with IPID? When we say the IPID or the security justice system in this country were infiltrated, we were correct. Because you were doing that. You are not a member of IPID. You are not a policewoman.
I did not.
Do you agree? Do you agree?
I'm not a police woman. I'm not an IPID officer.
But you were 100%.
But I did not involve myself unlawfully at all.
No, it was unlawful for you to do that. Mahlangu could have done that himself.
I think he did.
Could have done. But why then were you drafting for them?
Just to help.
No. There's more to it than what meets an eye. But be that as it may, let's go to the next one. You've been communicating with Mahlangu here. In fact, you were in charge of your company with O'Sullivan. You were in charge of IPID, and there's evidence. It's not an information. Evidence. I'll tell you now. Let me tell you about the issue of your correspondence with Mahlangu. Hi there. Do you have a statement for Alvin?
Sorry, Chair. Sorry. I don't want to be discussing what's on my cell phone records, please.
Sorry, I don't mean it is, because if you say so, my time will as well stop a bit.
I can't. the cell phone records, I don't have them. I don't have my cell phone. I don't know where they come from. And you really.
But you were responding
putting
well.
that to me.
But you were
I
responding
know,
well.
but it's.
So far, you were responding well on the same thing which I was asking you about. Because now I want to ask you about the use of cash, the issue of EFTs which were done. You were talking to IPID official, Mahlangu, yeah. And there's more. I mean, you went to Sinoville. You wanted an architect to give you a plan. For what? You went to Sinoville, a builder who built Pasane's house. Do you agree?
Yes,
Yes.
Mr. Frederick Terblanche.
Yes, yes. I want to go there. Even if there's no cell phone, is it true or is not true? That
Yes,
you
we
went to
did.
the
No,
house?
I
Yes.
also recorded that. Yes.
Now, because you recorded it, hence I'm asking you
Yes,
about this
I
thing.
just, yeah, it's, yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Oh, yes.
yeah. Now, you made emails, proof of payments, and all that. And there's a disappointment that there's an EFT. It was not cash. The cash was only used once. But otherwise, they were EFT. And this architect gave you the plan. But I wanted the relevance of the plan. Why did you ask for a plan? Somebody's house.
I didn't get any of that. I didn't understand.
Remember, the meeting was set up between 3 and 4 by you. It's you. It's nobody else but you who arranged that meeting.
With Terblanche.
Yes. And Mahlangu was you were communicating with Mahlangu. Mahlangu's work was done by you. And you were not an official, and it's illegal for you to do that. It was illegal at that point in time. Because hence I'm saying to you, you were in charge of IPID.
No.
I mean, you said you were helping them.
Helping it's absolutely not true. I did nothing illegal, nothing unlawful. And, yeah.
So you don't feel any compunction on that?
I wouldn't do it again, but I did not act unlawfully.
Can you please state a period during which you were supporting IPID in the investigation? And how many cases did you handle that involved individuals from IPID? Can you please state the period during which we were supporting IPID in the investigation? And how many cases did you handle that involved individuals from IPID?
So it was the Paklane matter and that the
It's about 2 or 3 or
So you want how many cases?
Yes.
So it was only that one. And then there were a couple of searches that I did, which I'm assuming was for another matter, but I wasn't involved in investigating any other matters.
So you don't know how many cases you've done with IPID?
No. Sorry, you're misunderstanding me. I haven't investigated on any other cases or been involved in any other, or opened a case with IPID. I don't know if that's what you're asking me.
But remember, you said to Honorable Nombalo when he asked you that about the dockets, and with Paul O'Sullivan, I've said that to him because he's been saying he opens docket. Opening a file is not opening a docket, or giving statements to the police is not opening a docket. Only the police who can open the docket. Do you agree?
Only the police can open a docket.
Do you agree?
Yes.
So this issue of Paul O'Sullivan and you saying you're opening a docket is wrong. Okay. Now, are the individuals involved in those cases still employed the IPID, which you were helping? Beside Manda, and may his soul rest in peace. Are some people still involved, like Metu Sisoke?
I don't know. I think he's at IDAC. He's not there anymore.
Yes, at IDEC now. Now, because of time, there's
Please,
time.
yeah.
Yes, you must remember there's not enough time for me. So I have to push you a bit. What instrument have you used to spy on Dudu?
On
Zuma.
who?
On Dudu Zuma.
What instrument?
Yes.
To spy on her?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I've never spied on anyone.
Did you never use Pegasus
Never.
in your life at all?
Never, never, never.
Are you sure?
I swear to God.
Did you have any permission to spy on Dudu?
No, and I never spied on her.
Does the police have an authority to spy on any citizen in your view?
I guess if they have a warrant, or I'm not exactly sure how they do the interception and that kind of thing.
Now, you say you've never used Pegasus for spying.
Never.
Did Paul use Pegasus, or your company use Pegasus to spy on Dudu?
Never. I can't speak for Paul. I can't imagine him doing so, but never. Pegasus are very serious. I've looked at it because I thought maybe they were using it on me. So no, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, but I wanted to correct you on this one. In fact, my mind comes in now.
Yeah.
Who called or Sullivan? Is it President Ramaphosa or is it Dr. Pejan?
I
No, you said it.
No, oh yes, what I said earlier.
Yeah, you said President Ramaphosa called or Sullivan.
No, he didn't.
So who called him?
Johnny Chalky was then put in touch with Paul, but I was not privy to the communications as to how that came about. So I don't know or remember. He could have sent an email or a WhatsApp, and then someone would have said, well, but Dr. Chalky is the person to liaise with and speak to him.
Did Mr. O'Sullivan have direct access to investigators, prosecutors, or IPD officers during the course of all this investigation which we're involved in?
When you say access?
Yes.
In what?
To investigators. He'll call Mahlangu, he'll call whoever he wants to say, let's go, like they did when they went to Sable Hills.
Yeah, but I mean, he would call up and say, look, there's I don't want to generalize, so I'm trying to think. If there was new information that came to light, I'm thinking of a situation, then he would say, hi, we've come across this, let me come and show you.
So do these communications suggest the possibility of a coalition between private actors and state investigators, and has been independently, in your view, investigated? Because you as well said that you were drafting papers for IPID investigators, Mandla for that matter, and said Cedric Nkabinde. No. I'm not dumbsanging. It's in your.
Yeah, but drafting a skeleton affidavit doesn't mean that I was doing anything wrong.
No, but you were saying that was the evidence which you were drafting. That was you who said so. So my question was to you, why were you doing that? You were saying you were helping IPID. And I said to you, why helping investigators? Because those people
I hear you.
Yes.
I hear you.
Okay, my last one. Do you have regrets of working with Mr. Paul or Sullivan in other matters?
I think all our matters have been. I mean, I don't have any regrets of the matters we've worked on. We've taken on a matter investigated.
So are you saying that you can repeat what you've been doing without any doubt? Because for me, I'm a bit ambivalent with you. I've got mixed feelings now about you.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a completely different way of doing my work and how I handle and
No,
and
but
do-
my question is, if you've been given another chance, will you do the same thing which you were doing over years with Mr. O'Sullivan?
no.
So you have
Sorry,
some regrets.
That's just too general a question. Let me first understand what you're asking before I answer.
No, I was asking you that if you have to repeat what you've done in the past few years you work with Mr. O'Sullivan, will you still do the same thing? Will you repeat the same thing which you were doing with Mr. Paul O'Sullivan?
Are you talking about a specific?
No, whatever you have done.
Everything.
Yes.
I don't know if I can answer that.
Intimidating people and threatening people and
No, I would not do that,
extorting
no.
people as well. So you'll never do that again.
I did not send threatening emails.
No, it's him. I remember it's your
Yeah,
company
but
as well.
no, you're right. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with
you
the
won't
way
repeat that
that's
again.
the way to speak. I don't agree with it.
And
I
you'll
would
never
not do-
repeat that again.
Never.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Skosana.
Chair, can I confirm time for me? 15 or 10? 15. Thank you, Chair. Sawubona ntombazana. Uyaphila? Are you good?
I'm good. How are you?
Ngifuna
Thank
sikhulume
you.
ngendaba yempahla enkulu. Awuthithisa khona uMcBride impahla enkulu. Honorable James asked you ukuthi actually Honorable James asked uMcBride ukuthi was he on a relationship with you? And his answer was no. Did he lie?
No.
Okay. You were asked, were you in a relationship with McBride? You said yes, but a social relationship.
I said I wasn't in a relationship with
Did you
him.
lie?
Sorry?
Did you lie?
When?
When you said you were in a relationship with him, but it was social.
I didn't say, I said I was not in a relationship
The question
with
is,
him.
did you lie?
No.
Okay. The message on your phone,
I'm not going into
Says
my
differently.
messages.
It's fine. when you said to McBride, two blue balls, George, what are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know if those are my phone records. I'm not going into my phone records. No.
Why did Paul McBride hate that you called him a horse? And you were angry when he said, do you want to bang? Why were you?
What?
Do you want to
No,
bang?
Chairperson, I need protection, please.
These messages were obtained when you were arrested.
No, that was stolen.
No,
It is
it was not
subject
stolen.
of a
Phones
criminal
were seized when you were
investigation.
arrested.
I'm-
Your phones were seized when you were arrested.
I'm not discussing my cell phone records. I will answer
Have you
anything,
ever
but I'm not
slept with
going,
Mr. McBride?
I'm not answering that.
Okay, something else now. You're not on message. Have you slept with Mr. McBride?
Not answering that.
Okay. Were you in an intimate relationship
Not
with him?
answering on my cell phone.
Not on your cell phone. I'm no longer there.
Yeah, okay.
Have you ever slept with Mr. McBride?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So you were not in a relationship.
I was not in a relationship.
What is that? What do you call that?
A hookup?
Okay. How many times?
I don't know.
Were you a weapon used by Mr. Paul O'Sullivan?
No. And if I was, I did not, and I will take my revenge if I was.
Okay, before we go somewhere, let's start here. Duduzile Zuma writes a tweet on Twitter, and you go and open a case against her, correct?
There were quite a few tweets and videos.
And you opened a case against those
Correct.
because of those, right? Andile Ramaphosa is alleged to have been part of the Bosasa issue and saga. Why didn't you open a case? Why did you go for clearing his name?
Well, if you compare the two matters, firstly, you would have to ask Paul
No, I'm
about
asking-
no, I understand, on, why he wanted to contact for that version of events. But if you compare the two matters, that was 2021 riots. I mean, that brought the country to
Let's
its knees.
quickly-
It's
remember
very
they
different
said I
to
have 10
ask.
minutes.
Sorry?
Remember they said I have 10 minutes.
Sorry, just
So the question is, do you write a tweet? You open a case.
there were
Andile
ma-
Ramaphosa is implicated in the Bosasa issue. You don't open a case. Why?
if you look at the two cases, the one of Andile Ramaphosa, it was some
Bosasa.
alleged.
Bosasa.
No, if you looked at the allegation, it was an alleged allegation, but this was the
There's
July.
also an allege
unre-
that she started it's an allege as well. You
No,
were in
no,
court right now. When
Yeah.
you were asked do you think this is political? You said yes.
What do I think? What is political?
The attack on Duduzile Zuma.
I didn't say
But
yes.
let's go back. You did. Let's go back. The question is very simple. Bosasa is a corruption case. You are known in your organization to be hating on corruption, right?
Yes,
And Ramaphosa is implicated there.
yes.
Did you investigate? You went
Yes,
straight for
No,
clearing the
yeah.
name. And again, on your what you said here, first thing you said Ramaphosa called Bejan.
I don't know.
Ramaphosa called
don't know.
Paul Sullivan. You said that.
No.
It's on record. You said that.
No, I said.
Do you want to correct
Danny-
that maybe?
No, I never said.
You said, okay, let me repeat to you. You said Ramaphosa called Paul. Then Pejane comes in the picture to clear this matter. We'll rewind the video. I did check it. You said that. Now, my question specifically is this. Why on Duduzile Zuma you'll go and open a case, but on Ramaphosa's son, when he is implicated in corruption, you don't investigate, you don't open a case, you go for clarification of his name? Why?
It has to do with both the cases. It's not as simple
Are you
as
sure you're a lawyer?
if
Are
there
you
were.
sure you are a lawyer?
I'm a non-practicing.
Did you study law?
Yes.
Seriously, I'm not that good in English, but I'm going to ask you this question again. Try to listen to my question. Why on Duduzile Zuma you went and opened a case on those allegations, but on
She was inciting violence and brought the country to
alleged.
its knees.
alleged, right?
And Andile Ramaphosa was alleged to have freaking received something in a bank account, and that was it. It is
Was there
very
money received by Andile?
different. Pardon?
Was there money received by Andile?
No.
Are you
Uh,
sure?
The allegation was
Wait,
about
just there,
the-
just there, just there.
the
Are you
alle-
sure?
The allegation was about him receiving money into an
From?
ABSA bank account. I can't remember, but he had no
Okay, wait a
ABSA
minute.
bank.
Let's not rush. You say the allegation was about him receiving money from
Sorry,
Usasa, right?
And then I
Let me help
corrected
you.
myself.
Okay.
It was about a bank account, an ABSA, and there was an ABSA. He was alleged to have received or paid. It was something about an ABSA, and we checked whether there was an ABSA bank account registered in his name, and that was
And
it
money was in
wasn't.
that account, right?
He didn't have an ABSA bank. Look,
Money was in that account.
he didn't have. If I'm remembering the bank name.
Okay, but let's
correctly,
leave it there.
the-
Let's go back to
the
a very
alleged
simple question.
bank,
But
he
we're gonna
did not-
make it implicated for yourself. Let's make it easy. On this side, you went to clear his name immediately. On this side, you went to open a case immediately. Are you with me? Why there's so unfairness? Why? Because it's Ramaphosa. Are you getting something from Ramaphosa?
No,
Do you think Paul is still friends with Ramaphosa?
I don't think.
Have you met Cyril Ramaphosa?
I have
President
not.
Cyril Ramaphosa?
I have not.
You have not. You have not.
No.
Okay. When last did you speak to Paul O'Sullivan?
Yesterday?
On phone?
Yeah.
Okay. You,
Oh, today, I mean, I saw him, but yeah.
you saw him before to yesterday and today?
We've been chatting since I've been there was the talk of me being called. I was not very happy, and so I told him that he needs to come and that
Okay, so
I
you
can't
were-
be.
you have been in contact.
It's his.
Let's
it's his.
quickly go to this
main-
now. Since you say you studied law, do you understand what is infiltration in regard to IPID? What would be
maybe
infiltration?
maybe
What
you
would
could.
be? Okay,
What maybe you could tell me what it could be, and
okay, between you and Paula Sullivan, who infiltrated IPID?
neither.
Let's qualify this with a definition. Infiltration is a person who works in a space where he's not supposed to be, right? Like being in going to Patlane's house as an IPID official, that would be wrong, right?
No,
If it was the case. Going to Patlane's house as an IPID.
I
official.
wasn't going as an
No, no, I
IPID.
didn't say you went. You are saying that. Did you go to Patlane's house as an IPID?
I went to Paklani's house. I did not
You
go as
answered
an
that.
IPID.
Now you've answered that question, and I did a favor and asked you that question. Now this is a different question. I'm asking, if you went to Patlane's house as an IPID official, that will be deemed wrong, right?
So I'm sorry, I don't. If I had gone, if I was an IPID official, sorry, I don't understand.
Okay. Who between you and Apollo Sullivan infiltrated IPID?
There was no infiltration, neither.
Okay. Let's test your law again. Is it allowed for a civilian to have information from an official, often a minister, or information that is supposedly to be known by an IPID official only? For example, McBride gives you an ID number of Honorable Ntleko. Was that correct? Was that in law?
I don't remember if he sent me the
He did
ID
send you.
number.
It did.
Um,
Was that correct? The question is, was that
I don't
lawful?
see that there was that was illegal.
Why not? Are you sure you're a lawyer, Maraye? Are you sure? If I'm a police officer and I give you information in my docket as a civilian, isn't that, is that lawful?
You have to understand that as a certified fraud examiner,
Ah.
it's I don't know how to explain it.
Are you allowed to mingle with the dockets of IPID?
Pardon?
Are you allowed to mingle with the dockets of IPID?
Am I allowed to?
To mingle, to be part, to touch or even see dockets of IPID? In terms of law, the one that you studied.
It depends if we.
Are you sure what you studied law? I'm going to ask you again.
Yeah.
Are you sure you studied law?
I did.
Are you allowed to be touching documents or dockets that are from IPID?
Not without their consent.
So did McBride give you consent to give information?
To give information.
Yeah.
To?
To you?
Did McBride give consent?
To give
sorry,
you information?
what information?
You said you must be given consent before you start handling information.
No. I can't demand to look at information from them, but if
But
they.
if he gives it to you, is it doing a lawful thing?
It depends. No, not necessarily. But if it's for, I don't see why
Which
he
school of law
would.
did you go?
Pardon?
Where did you study your law?
UNISA. I studied.
Is UNISA credible in terms of law? I want to study law and I want to go to UNISA. Now I'm starting to doubt it. Is it credible?
I don't know.
Do you trust it? Do you think they did a good job on you? let's go again. Are you allowed to have information of the minister? IEID, is Mr. McBride allowed to give you such information?
Yes.
Is he allowed? Is that on record? You're saying that on record? And can you follow the
What
phone
I
the
say
system?
is, at the time, I did not believe that there was anything wrong or anything unlawful.
Okay,
If-
that's fair.
If evidence is presented to the contrary, so be it. But it wasn't some, yeah, sorry.
Okay. When you, okay, let's leave that. Just put it on record that you and McBride did something very wrong, especially McBride. A case must be open on that matter. Now, did you and your cabal that had a meeting, apparently with two DA members, AfroForum and journalists, did you have control of media?
Did I have?
Did you guys have control of media? Did you control media?
When you say control,
Journalists, did you control journalists?
in,
Did you know information before it appeared on the media? If something will appear tomorrow, did you know today that heads up, tomorrow something is coming? Did you have such preview?
sometimes.
Why was that? What is it because of friends in the media or you control media?
Well, usually CCs every single journalist or media house.
But
blind
would
copies
the
every
media
time
house
emails.
tell him something that he didn't send to them?
Pardon?
Would
Honorable Copper.
Good
Thank you,
day.
Sarah. Wasinda kanjalo.
Sorry, Chair, must I begin?
Yes.
Good evening, Ms. Trent. You spoke on contracts with companies that are part of the forensic tools,
Yes.
which are at your disposal. Which companies are they specific? If you can give me a list of names.
Sure. It is TransUnion, CPB, the Credit Profile Bureau, Marisit, so I call it Marisit, it's MARISIT. And so for me, if a lawyer or a certified fraud examiner has certain things that they have access to, whereas an estate agent, that's what I can think of at
That's
the moment.
fine.
Yeah.
Ms. Trent, how are citizens protected by abuse by this system?
Pardon?
How are citizens protected by abuse from this system? If one were to be corrupt, and I'm not saying you are corrupt, I'm asking if one were to be corrupt and have access to these systems, would it put a citizen at risk?
Yes. And yes.
Is there anything in place to prevent abuse?
So, I don't know. I think that the best would be to look at sort of how their structures are. But for me, if I do a search, I have to have reasonable suspicion of something. You can't just but it doesn't.
Suspicion,
but
who do you give that to?
Yes, exactly. So it would be they could possibly. I'm not making a judgment, but it is a good question. You know, how is the public protected from that? Because I think only a certain. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No problem. When you went to Sable Hills with Mr. O'Sullivan, you were working for him, correct?
Correct.
And you mentioned that you were pretty new at that stage.
Correct.
Is it fair that you were under his directive at the times when you went to Sable Hills as an employee?
Absolutely.
You were, as you describe it, new. So at the time, did you even consider the allegations that could arise, such as unlawful presence, undue diligence, access to protected information?
No.
Do you think that there was a possibility that Mr. O'Sullivan may have known that there are consequences to such actions?
I would, I don't
Just
know.
a possibility.
Yeah. Look, yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here today for a reason, not.
No.
So,
You described your CFE qualification and you described your work, including compiling criminal dockets, assisting branches of criminal justice systems in investigations. Were you ever contracted by a state body directly or indirectly? Or was all the work done via private clients?
private clients, no government.
You do say that IPID officers requested your assistance on the 9th of November 2016. And you were satisfied under the IPID Act that you're entitled to. So I'm not going to get into that section 24, it's been traversed. Here's where things get a little bit blurry, Ms. Trent, and I just hope you can assist me.
Okay.
And it was mentioned early on, I just didn't get a complete clarity. In 2016, you were certified as a fraud examiner.
No,
Sorry, you were not certified.
no, I was
That only
appointed as
came
an
in,
attorney.
sorry, that only came in 2019.
Yes.
Correct. And the evidence for decision at Harvard Kennedy, that was only in 2020, April. And you admitted to it as an attorney on the 24th of October 2016, which is about 2 weeks before your assistance was required with IPID. So, Ms. Trent, I think this brings me a full circle because at the time you started with Mr. O'Sullivan, you didn't have all the qualifications that you possess today. And I think that really refers to you being new and you maybe headed into something that you weren't completely sure about. Is that a correct assessment? And if it's not, if you could just try to assist me then.
I think it's a bit of a broad. Maybe if you can ask it again.
So I went through your qualification.
Yes.
And your qualifications seem to come much later
Yes.
than when this investigation took place at Sable Hills. And I asked you in the beginning that you were pretty new at the firm with Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. You were just admitted as an attorney. You didn't have the forensic expert background that you have now, the certification and so forth. And the circle that I'm making is that you might have led yourself or be led into a situation that you didn't know you were letting yourself into at the time.
You've just made me remember when I was at John Walker Attorneys and for the insolvency, we also had access to one of those systems. So when I was doing the checks on the people that were part of the inquiry. So, and that was for a law firm. So I'm sorry if I'm going over the place. So here in 2016, it would have been on that I'd had a law degree and working in Paul O'Sullivan. I don't think I'm answering your question.
Don't worry. Ma'am, I just want to quickly find out who initiated the contact again. If you can just clarify, was it IPID towards Paul O'Sullivan's office? Or was it Paul O'Sullivan that contacted IPID?
So when Mr. McBride was returned to IPID, Mr. O'Sullivan said to me, see if you can get a meeting with Mr. McBride because we need to present this this complaint. It's about the Acting National Police Commissioner. It's a big deal. And that's what I did.
And for how long did you work on that case specifically? You can just estimation, days, months, weeks. I mean.
So it was the two Sable Hills, the Tabalanche, the Alvin de Priya, then there was the death threat, and then maybe once or twice, and then there was the whole sort of kidnapping, arresting, all of that debacle. And then from there would be one or two inquiries every now and again. Yeah.
I'm just want to make sure about your duties versus those of Mr. O'Sullivan, because I want to differentiate between the work that you did. And everything you've described, even when you were the director, and I mean this with no disrespect, ma'am, it sounded more like you were doing PA work. And I just want to know the difference between the work you did and the work that Paul O'Sullivan did.
So by the end, I was sort of running my own matters. Paul was away most of the time. So when we're talking about 2016, 2017, that was a very different story to when, by the time I left.
2016,
in 26
specifically, yes.
In 26, yes.
Because I want to refer to this.
Sorry.
This is where we're at, yes.
2016, yeah. It was, whatever I was told to do. That's if you send an SMS or send an email.
And who was doing the bulk of the forensic work and the checks? Who was making the decisions? Was that Paul? And
Yes,
you were
that was
just
Mr.
doing-
O'Sullivan. Yeah, I didn't make any decisions.
Why did you need to run checks on IPID persons of interest? Are they unable to do it? Is it I just want to understand the reasons for you needing to do the checks, or at least the firm having to do the checks. Why wasn't IPID capacitated to run their own checks, do their own research? Is it that they didn't have resources? Because we're trying to understand what the problem is in IPID, what the problem is in SAPS, whether it would be in the NPA. And if the problem is resourcing, and then that's why they couldn't do it, then we understand the reasoning behind it. So that is why I'm asking you that specific question. So try to limit it within what were the reasons you needed to do that specific work for IPID.
Okay, it was the quickest way to get information for their investigation. And if we could get it for them, that would just, I'm assuming, I don't know what helped them as investigators, because I can't speak for them, but I'm assuming that that's what it, you log into the system. And also if it's an IPID member, they are investigating crimes, and therefore that would be the purpose. And I am not sure whether they have the capabilities to do this available.
Ms. Trent, you spoke about you accompanied the IPID investigators to Sable Hill, and you said both of you and Mr. Sullivan went. And in your affidavit, I can't remember which paragraph, you spoke about actually supplying desktop support. Why do you think Mr. Sullivan wanted you to go there as well? Because your duties were secretarial in nature. You were in the office, desktop research, doing checks on the systems, so forth.
And also a aspiring certified fraud examiner. So
it was to learn.
yeah.
Ms. Trent, I think I'm going to rest there. I think I've got my conclusion, and again, I'm going to say it, and I don't mean it as an insult to you, but it feels when you do explain that you're a bit confused as to why certain processes took place. And whoever's watching soccer can maybe just put that off. Thank you. Sorry, Ms. Trent. You seemed just a little confused through some of the explanations, as if you're not 100% sure why you were doing things. And it does concern me, because I do think, again, and I'm going to repeat my full circle, you were new at a firm, you were told to do certain things, and you performed the due diligence as what a worker should do, and that's what it looks like to me. And I've listened to you speaking today, I've listened to you when you were speaking to the evidence leader, and it feels like you were led like a cow to the slaughter. And I'm watching you here today, and that's just the impression that I get. And but I thank you for your time today, and it is almost 12 o'clock in the evening, and you're still going. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chairperson, I conclude.
Thank you so much, Honorable Matthijs.
Good evening again, Ms. Trent. I want to go to start off with your torture abduction case. The NPA declined to prosecute.
Correct.
Did you consider going to the Human Rights Commission?
And
Why not?
was back to work on Monday as usual. Thank you.
I don't think there's a time period on when you can lodge a case, so it might be something that you want to consider. There was discussions here just prior when we were on our break, that you were having a response to your trauma. Mike, I normally talk so loud. What is making it traumatic for you to be here in Parliament in front of the entire nation to tell us about the alleged abduction and torture with INSAPs? Do you feel like you are trapped here in Parliament?
I do not. And I wish that I was not crying. It is mortifying, and I would love to be composed and answer your questions. This whole Baklani whole thing, I thought I'd left it, moved on. It was extremely traumatizing, this whole thing and surrounding factors. And I was not expecting to respond this way. And it's...
No, I understand that you might not have been, but I would have thought that it could have also been a healing process to be able to tell your story on the platform that you
Yes,
have.
yes, it's just hard.
Understand. When we spoke, or when the question came up about Dudu Zuma and you opening the case, is she convicted? Because my understanding, she's still on
Oh,
trial.
she's still on trial.
Yeah. So when you refer to her, you said you spoke as if she was
I'm
already.
sorry, I must apologize for
And when you
that.
spoke about Andile, you said alleged corruption, but when you spoke, and very passionately so.
It's just from the weight of it, but I apologize for not, for
crime
making
is
that
crime.
judgment.
Let's talk, you said about the mess. So you had some communication. Yeah, I am talking, by the way. You had communication with O'Sullivan when you referred to this whole parliament process.
Yes, the ad
You
hoc.
referred to it as a mess.
Oh, no, no,
His
no,
best-
no. No, yeah, that he's caused
Yeah,
this
he's
mess for
mess.
me.
Okay, so before the mess that you refer to, his mess, when was the last time you communicated with him?
Long time.
Okay.
There would be no reason, 2023, maybe.
Okay. And then what is the mess?
You know, I thought I'd moved on. And, you know, we did a lot of good work. And then there was you know, he's just started to make, you know, you've seen fighting and accusations and everything without considering, you know, and it might affect me, one, and the work that we've done, because it takes away from that. And yeah, it's all coming back, you know, when you've left a part of your life, and then, you know, that saying, you thought you were out, and then they come and they drag you back in again.
Is Paul a bully, O'Sullivan?
Paul?
Yeah, in your experience.
In my,
Yeah, would you
Yes.
consider him a bully?
yes,
Are you afraid of him?
I'm not afraid of him.
Okay. Has he intimidated you? Even if,
No. I've always, you know, he was my employer, so
no,
He-
during this period, during his mess period.
no. To put in context, last year, I think it was around when he had some fight with Athol Trollope, and I could not understand what it was, and it just became this huge issue about that had nothing, and I could just see all of this happening in front of, I could see it happening, and I said, like, please don't, it's taking away from what is important. And anyway, sorry, I'm rambling on, but yeah.
Did you get any incentive during your discussions with him on how you should approach your testimony with us today?
No, he was just very nice. We chatted about what was going on and what the questions and that kind of thing, but not in I will say what I need to say. The days of me not saying what I want to say are over, if you
Did
understand.
you
right?
have those days with him?
No, you just do. I don't want to sound like a victim or anything like that, but yeah, it's a job. You do.
Do you think he made you do things that you shouldn't have done in retrospect?
No, but there were things where had I had I been able to have a say as to, for example, an email going out, I would have said no. Because, you
Can
know,
you
so
think
that
of a
so
particular
stuff like
email
that. So
that you would have
um,
said no?
it's not a particularly, I think you guys have discussed the scene. I just have a very different way of doing things. And I got to a point in my career.
Ms. Trent,
Pardon?
when you said you guys, what did you mean?
Sorry?
You said something you guys know, and then you like, so what?
I think you've covered some of
you
the
guys?
emails.
Okay, so you're talking about that in particular.
Just in general.
But that's one of the things that you would have had.
Yeah, if he had
Because it
drafted an
exposed
email.
you, or because it was wrong?
Not illegal wrong, but wrong. It's just not, I would just not write something and send something like that. I'm not saying it's illegal or unlawful or anything like that. I just would not do that. And I know that by doing that, it would bring negative attention back. And that's my personal feeling. That's my personal,
No problem.
yeah.
Anthony Fritz Henry, do you know him?
Yes, I've met him. I know him. I don't know him well, but I've met him a few times.
Were you not both directors at a company?
Yes, St. Helena.
Yeah. So you were business partners?
So I was a non-executive, so I didn't have any sort of role in the company, and I don't think that it did anything. I actually, yeah, and then I can't remember when I was.
Dangerous to be a non-director with,
Yeah.
and you don't know what they.
I mean, it was part of the job, I guess.
Didn't the St. Helena Corporation, they were property development?
Yeah, so I remember when I arrived or came to Paul O'Sullivan and Associates, they were looking at, I think that they were planning on building an airport on St. Helena, which would improve tourism or something like that. So as I understand, it was a property development project.
Did you know what was in the portfolio when you were a non-director?
So I think that was what was in the portfolio of this, of the
Yeah.
one that I was,
Because they're
no,
property developing, so outside of
No.
the development, you don't know?
no, I don't think that there was anything.
So that was the only thing they were working on.
No, sorry, I'm confusing myself and everyone else here. There's the St. Helena Corporation PLC, which is in England, a trading company which has something to do with that. And then there's the St. Helena in South Africa, which I don't think did any trading or anything like that, but I wouldn't have been involved in any of that.
So which one were you?
In this one, in the South Africa, the one that's on the CV.
So it had done no trade, there was nothing, they just opened. You signed up to be a non-director, you put it in your CV and you didn't know anything about what.
No, well,
They
what
could have been
happened-
laundering money for.
I called Paul. He said that nothing happened in that company.
And you believe him?
Yes.
So if we say, or someone says to you that Forensic for Justice wasn't established just or mainly to expose corruption, but it operated in a way, and I want to read this because I want to get it right, but it operated in a way where people who were alleged to be involved in wrongdoing or corruption were investigated and they were pressured, right? And when those individuals lost their assets or their money, then you'd get the likes of Fitzhenry and Paul O'Sullivan through their companies like Tradewinds Corporation, and they benefited from these outcomes. Including, so this Tradewinds company actually bought Kitchebear's house.
Okay, so what I know of that is, and again, this is what I know, that Paul had this whole long history war with Radovan Krejcir, and SARS went in on and took all the seized the assets and put it all on auction. And then Paul or a company bid on the house. And I read it in the news on the Monday, and then found out. Pardon?
Did you ask him about it?
No, I had only just been there. I don't even think I was still on the ad hoc basis thing. But when I read it, I was like, I bet you that's Paul. And
it didn't make you suspicious of who you're working with.
No, I didn't think that there was anything wrong because he'd had this huge sort of fight, he wanted to kill him and he'd been fighting this awful guy. And
do you think he was awful too?
Who?
Radovan
Krejcir? Yeah. Yes.
Let's go on to Robert McBride. I'm not going to ask you about your sex life. Did he ever ask you to profile a company called SASTEC, SASSTEC? And we're not going to mention the names of the people involved, but also requested that you profile the CEO of that company and family members.
I don't remember.
Don't remember.
It does not ring a bell.
Okay, so we wouldn't find messages if those messages of yours is found to be legally obtained. We won't find a message like that.
I don't know. I don't know. So I can't deny or confirm. I honestly don't remember.
Were you responsible for communication between, or not responsible, but were you the go-to between Robert McBride and O'Sullivan?
Yes.
Why?
I had, firstly, you know, would be working or whatever, and he'd be like, phone this person, message this person. And then I think Paul was a bit late to the smartphone. So he didn't, you know, he didn't.
Was he late or he just wanted to have so he can have
Nokia.
messages? Yeah.
Yeah, he had the old Nokia that you like open, and we've all got our, you know, iPhones and everything. And
You don't think it was strategic on his side because now he doesn't have messages that were downloaded. And that you were
Hindsight.
actually might have been used
hindsight.
and you were thrown under the bus. Let's go to the Paklani matter. In Robert McBride's statement, he says that IPID also received some information from O'Sullivan and Trent as they had access to systems, plural, that IPID did not have for investigation purposes. What systems was he referring to?
So I think he would be referring to the entities that I just mentioned. It's TransUnion, CPB, Marisit, and that. So if he's saying that that's not what they had, I don't know what they have access.
So IPID doesn't have access to that, or IPID has to do things legally and get requests to get credit checks, etc.
I don't know.
So you didn't ask McBride?
No. I
When
don't
they
think
were
that there's
asking
any.
you to do that, a whole state institution is asking you to do it. It didn't bother you that they were not able to do it? Because it can't be that IPID cannot do credit checks if they need to.
Oh, I mean, if you look at the resources, have you been to the IPID offices?
Besides that, it can't be that IPID does not have access to do that, so they were taking shortcuts.
I don't know. That I don't know.
There was something that was said today that's not making sense, and we didn't get proper clarity. Who took the pictures of the house plans, of Paklani's house plans?
I think Paul, Sir Sullivan. He had his phone in the one, and then the camera.
So he used a camera because he was using Nokia phones?
Yes.
Okay, so he did take the pictures, and that was at the...
As far as I remember, that's.
But you were there to take notes, so you would remember. And
Yes, I have the recording.
so there was this thing that Robert McBride also said, that his investigators reported to him that the reason the two of you went, because you used your white, okay, I can't say whiteness, but you used the fact that you were white to get information.
I do remember Paul saying something to that effect. I do remember that because, yeah, there was.
So what does that tell us if citizens need to have white people to come and ask them? But you were there and you were part of it.
I know.
Today, we asked Mr. O'Sullivan if he had a police station in his house, and he said 3. Have you, because you've stayed at his house a few times.
Yes.
It was almost your second home, from what I understand. Have you ever seen police documents in his house or SAPS
No.
materials? You've never seen it?
No.
So he was lying when he said he has 3.
I thought, so he wasn't joking? No.
I
What do you mean, 3?
And the reason we're asking this is that in 2024, Krichovic's son Dennis was arrested,
Okay.
right? And there's, I think it's in an affidavit rather, that Paul opened the docket in his house. Then a SAPS officer came to collect it and took it to the police station to finalize it. Do you know anything about that?
I know
And then
nothing
later
about
the NPA refused to prosecute
I don't.
because the case was so weak. I want to go back again, Ms. Trent, to this this certified fraud examiner thing, because I think I don't understand it fully, and I'm sure South Africans want to know. So tell me, do you have access to a portal of information, being a certified fraud examiner.
So so there's an option, for example, on TransUnion or Marisit. So you say, okay, you want to find out the company details, like a SIPSI search, but you've got to choose under what you are doing it. So it's fraud examination, corruption examination, whatever, and you've got to click on that. And you can only click on that if you have been approved by the service provider, and the approval is
So
based
which service
on-
provider? So TransUnion, for example.
So there's TransUnion.
Okay,
there's-
that's fine.
okay.
Okay, just say one of them,
And
right?
and I'll check if there are any others. And
Okay. And the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, right? They issued the certificate
yes,
that you would use to go and register at TransUnion, for example.
correct.
Right. Now, this Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, who regulates it? Like, forget their self-regulation.
Yeah,
Like,
the self.
which statutory body regulates them? Because if I want to go and lodge a complaint against a member, it might not be criminal. Which regulatory authority would I go to?
I don't know.
Okay, that's interesting. And then what happens? So what we understand here in South Africa, I don't know about in other countries, and even with real estate agents, they can't go and access your information without you giving them permission. So you were accessing people's information without their permission. If you suspected, and we don't know about this association, who they answer to. So Chair, who's disappeared, we want to ask our evidence leaders that we write to this association and get clarity on how are they issuing out certificates, and also to the credit unions, TransUnion, Western Union, and all the others, on how they just allow someone who has a membership that they pay for to click and say that they are a member, and then they can just give out information. Because we've got very strict privacy records, and people can't just be accessing information based on them being suspicious. The polygraph test, you said that, are we not going to find any evidence later that this was something that was instigated between you, McBride, and O'Sullivan?
I wouldn't say
You've agreed that you facilitated it, but
Yeah.
you're asking who instigated it. Was it part of the plot?
it wasn't a plot. It was basically, it was how I understand it is, Mokhtedi was on the news making these wild allegations of treason and Arab Spring, and then Paul's overseas, and it's when you have that kind of allegation.
we get that.
Sorry, I'm
Say-
wasting a time.
Right.
And so I think maybe Mr. McBride dared Mokhtedi to a polygraph.
But was there a discussion amongst the group of IPID people who were doing this investigation?
And
to
then
do so?
yes, and then I spoke to both Paul and Robert, and I spoke to the polygraph
Okay,
woman.
then you
and
facilitated it, but it wasn't that, it was something that was decided, it was instigated here in response to what was going on outside, that you were being accused of overthrowing the state, etc.
Yeah, and it wasn't anything like, oh, let's cook up the whole thing. It was
But it
literally,
was a plot.
it was the most ridiculous allegations.
I'm not talking
Yeah.
about the allegations.
Sorry,
I'm
I know,
saying-
I
I was
know.
asking about, you saying that was, your response was to do that.
Yes.
Let's talk about, why would Paul O'Sullivan say that he was asked to vet possible national commissioners? I mean, it's even there in his book. And he's done multiple interviews about that I'm sure you might have even helped facilitate those interviews.
Which interviews?
When he goes on
He's
TV
the
saying
the
that,
media guy.
Oh, he's the media guy that
You don't
says
see
must
me in the
feel-
media until I'm crying on national TV.
No, I know
Thanks.
that. So, but I'm saying you facilitated the interviews for him to go and tell the world how.
Oh, no,
he was
I
honest.
didn't
Oh, you
facilitate with the
Only-
media,
okay.
no.
But do you have anything to say on why he would tell the world that he was asked to bet possible national?
Don't know why he said that.
Is it something that he did regularly just to make up stories and position himself as it's something he does?
I would say that things do get exaggerated a lot.
Don't think you put in that a bit kindly.
And I just sometimes don't understand why he would say what he says. It just there's just no reason. I don't know it, and it makes everything very difficult because now you don't know what you're looking at or investigating. It's
Okay. No
yeah.
problem. Let's talk about Andile Ramaphosa. What case were you about to open that implicated him and that you needed to get clarity or to clarify his name? Because you said you were
Yes.
going to open a case and that's how the contact happened. So what was the case about that? Because it wasn't a case against him.
No.
He was implicated in a case that you were about to open.
Yes.
Right. So what was that case?
So we had, I think it was the inquiry, and there was this affidavit of Fantunda, maybe, if I'm remembering, and he had made allegations. And around that time, Vincent Smith had tweeted saying that he had taken a loan from someone from Bosasa, perhaps Gavin Watson. I don't want to say something if I don't remember it correctly. And that in itself was proof of a corrupt activity. And then there was that, it was like a one sentence allegation. And I think that, and Paul said, well, we must either add it or we'll find out what his version is. So and that's what happened.
So what case were you about to open against whom?
It was, Vincent Smith.
Ah.
And and it was, look, I can't
You just
recall.
got sentenced to 7 years today.
Oh,
So my question here is that O'Sullivan and Associates or forensic, whichever it is, Paul O'Sullivan, he looks around to see who might be involved in corruption, exactly what I was saying before, digs up some dirt, and then those who he thinks he can extort money from, and then Andile's name came up, and then that's how Andile Ramaphosa, you contacted him. Why would you just randomly go and say, I'm going to go and open a case against Vincent Smith? Like the target is high profile people. And then you go and look on who's involved in this, and then let's go and see. Because, and then soon after that, you get a job as a CEO.
oh, no, not
It wasn't soon after.
Not soon after. There was nothing
Okay.
dodgy there.
But you were only a CEO there for 8 months.
Yes.
When you joined, there was no money, or there was?
There was, but it was also wanting to expand it, and to look at almost like a feasibility in a way at whether it could happen, and it wasn't going to be possible, and but it was a
What's
beautiful
the relationship with the Oppenheimers?
I know one of the granddaughters, but I know her. We have mutual friends.
So you know them well enough to stay at some of their holiday homes and lodges, and do you know them well enough in that regard?
Yes, I have holidayed at,
through the granddaughter?
yes.
Okay. So you
But I-
don't, because it's,
I'm from Stellenbosch.
no, I know you said that, so that's what. So your relationship with the granddaughter is quite decent enough for you to say, I need a holiday.
No, no. So basically, I met her through another friend, and I happened to be driving in her car. You know, we caught a lift, and got to know. And then we had a mutual friend who was going away, and so she hosted his friends for that, and that's what happened there.
Anything else outside with the Oppenheimer family? Outside of holiday in India, holiday homes?
Anything
Anything else outside of having had holidays?
with the
at their-
Oppenheimers?
Yeah.
No,
No,
no.
Yeah.
Only on a social mutual friends.
with the granddaughter only.
Yeah,
And
just
what
with
is
her,
the
yeah.
granddaughter involved in?
She runs what I assume is I don't know, but I think she runs a family office or something. I'm not sure.
The social media that you touched on just earlier, you said Paul is the social media person.
No, not the social media, the media.
Oh, the media.
Sorry, did I say social
Yeah,
media?
I might have, and I might have heard.
Oh,
wrong. So
no,
who was
so the
responsible
media.
for social media?
Pardon?
Who's responsible for, or who was rather?
I used to just look around, wouldn't really post, but on Facebook, there's a company that's just posts some like a post. What do you call them? Postcard type thing with the Forensics for Justice thing twice a week, or boosts it or whatever. But
So you'll
I
have
don't
spent
know.
money, have you spent?
Pardon?
You'll spent money, or they have spent money boosting social media posts?
Yeah, but I mean, it's minimal. I don't think they even boost it anymore. It's just,
But it has been done. Boosting on the social media. Have you
but
done
I
that
I
with,
think it reached like 1,000 people.
and have you ever spent money on boosting matters regarding Lieutenant General Bukhani?
I don't think so.
I'm done. Thank you, Chair.
Bangazitha.
Well, thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Do you own a company registered under your name?
Yes.
What is that?
SJ Trent Pty Limited, and but I call it SJ Trent Inc.
Okay, what does it do?
I give services as a certified fraud examiner. So so a client will come to me with an issue, and it'll usually be about a fraud or financial crime, and then I will look into it and give all kinds of advice or feedback or a report or something like that. So that's what I would then do.
Is it still operational?
Yes.
Who is the complainant in in General Patlane's case?
As far as I know, it's Mr. Sullivan. And I know that there was a Colonel Moonsamy, and there were pop crew guys who gave statements as well. But the complainant was Mr. Sullivan.
But what is he complaining about?
Corruption.
What corruption? Can you unpack that?
Gosh, it's so late. So if I had the complaint, I'd be able to assist a bit better. Yeah, okay. He had said something in the media that about then General Pachlane and how I don't know what it was said. And then because of that, police whistleblowers came to him and said, look, we've been trying to have someone investigate what's been going on at the forensics lab where Pachlane had been. So he did that and took statements, and then with that, made the complaint to IPID. I don't know if
I'm asking that because you were part of the team that investigated. What exactly were you investigating? If put differently, what were you investigating against General Pachlane?
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. So the allegations were that service providers to the forensic science laboratories, and then, so for example, there was this, they gave us one of the supposed fingerprint brushes, but it was a makeup brush. Now, with a fingerprint brush, it has to be very fine squirrel hair. So what was happening is that they were using makeup brushes for fingerprints. And then the other thing is they had expired crime scene chemicals that were exploding on the scene or in the vehicles. So we got the photos of that and we got the statements and all of that. And then then we had a woman who was a whistleblower as well, who had intimate knowledge of one of the service providers and their relationship with Mr. Pachlane then, and that's what it was based on. And then the further investigation would have led to whatever it led to.
Was corruption part of the the issues that you were investigating?
I think so. I just can't. Perhaps I should have. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't want to say something that I.
I mean,
Yeah, corruption. Yes. Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, how does his house then become a focal point of the investigation?
Because in the lifestyle, if you look at. So what he did was, he goes, okay, let's do a lifestyle on him. And so he'll see, look, there's this property. And then you go on Google Earth and you can see in these, oh, okay, that's a pretty massive house for this. And then off we went on that. And then when you compare the income that he was getting at the time to how much the house had been built, what the cars he had at the time, it was impossible to have been able to afford any of that. And that's where the red flag came up. And this was the head of police for South Africa at the time. So, yeah.
I find it very contradictory. You are actually saying to us that he was the head of South African Police, National Commissioner. Why would he not be able to afford a car?
No, at the time that the house was built, he was not.
What was he?
He was heading up the forensics lab.
What was his rank?
I don't know, but I think
Not a lieutenant general.
I don't know, but I just remember that he couldn't have afforded it.
Can I put to you that he was a lieutenant general?
All right.
Do you know how much they are paid?
No. No, I mean, we're talking a long time ago, so.
So what was wrong with General Pachlane building for himself a house?
Nothing's wrong with building a house. Where did it, and you know what, our investigation did lead somewhere.
I'm asking, you are part of that investigation.
Yes.
What is wrong? Is he the only human being in South Africa that was building that kind of a house?
No.
I see a lot of houses, marvelous houses in Johannesburg. Have you investigated all of those people?
No, but I think that if there's a red flag like that, what excuses the chief of police in a country just because he's the chief of police? He should be held accountable, and he shouldn't be protected because he is the head of the police.
I can't accept that. I find it hard to accept that you want to actually condemn the general simply because he's head of the police, that he should actually not be actually able to build a house of his dream, a dream house of his own. He's working, he's getting a salary. There are institutions out there which are ready to actually give him money to go and build the house because he has a stable income and is the head of the South African police. I mean, what?
I don't
all
believe
drama.
I don't believe he could have afforded that. But again,
And Paul was here and
Yes.
told us that he owns a private jet.
Paul owns a private jet.
Is that true?
No, are you saying that? Sorry, I interrupted you. I should have listened
He
to it.
said so.
Sorry?
He said so himself, telling us.
Paul said, no, he has a private plane.
Paul O'Sullivan. Does he not own a jet?
No.
But he
well,
told us that he
I
was
don't-
actually he was driving his own jet.
No, it's a private plane. I don't know if he still has it now. But when I was working for him, it was like a 4-seater plane that you fly. There's no, I don't know where.
He's going to ask whether a lifestyle audit has actually been carried out against him to find out exactly whether he can afford that kind of flight.
He doesn't have a jet. Oh, actually, I don't know because I don't, but at the time, I can't imagine.
Okay, move on.
Sorry.
The question about the photographs that were taken at General Patlane's place has actually been answered. You said Paul O'Sullivan actually took those photographs.
As I recall,
Yeah.
correct. Yes.
Okay. When those two investigators, IPID investigators, that is Mahlangu and Binang, came to your places, I don't know where you met them, they were traveling in an unmarked police car, which could only accommodate 2 people.
I don't know what the car was.
No, I'm not
If it was
interested
marked
in
or not.
what car, but it could only accommodate 2 people. That's what you said.
Yes.
And then because of that, Paul actually said, no, leave that car, let's use my car so that all of us can fit in.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
And
As far as I remember, that is how I remember it.
Okay. So then you drove off to Patlane's place.
Yes, we went into the estate and went down to the manager's office. You go.
All 4 of you.
Yes, in the car.
Okay. So who was leading the team at that particular time? Because it could not have been those 2 IP chaps because they knew nobody.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So between you and Paul, one of you must have been leading that team.
So when we got there, we walked in and look, I mean, I can't remember exactly what happened,
No,
but
it must have been one of you. Remember that the whole idea of actually, roping you into that trip to Patlane's place was because you 2 are white. It is only one of you who could actually be able to persuade those people to actually cooperate in the investigation. So that is why I'm asking, who was leading that team between yourself and Paul?
Okay. we, it wasn't as sort of, it was very
Somebody
simply
must have
walked in.
actually, must have led discussion when you're talking out to the telebranches and the Eustace and all of that crowd. Somebody must have
Okay.
been leading discussion.
Yeah, I think Mr. O'Sullivan would probably have spoken the most, but the IPID officers were made, it was made clear. And the thing is, if you do listen to the recordings or see the transcript,
So
you will see
therefore
that
he-
it's because he had all the information, he knew all the information.
So on that day, the lead investigator was Paul.
I wouldn't say that, no. He's been investigating matters forever. So it's not like anyone that doesn't have sort of experience in an investigation. So it just comes naturally. You sit down and
Ms. Trent,
yes,
you were requested by the IPID two
Yeah.
chaps to accompany them simply because they realized that the color of their skin is actually going to make it impossible for them to communicate with those people convincingly. So they roped you in. They phoned you. They phoned one of you.
okay.
And then you agreed to accompany them.
I don't
You
know.
even provided transport to them. So the entire operation was a Paul O'Sullivan's operation, backed up by Miss Sarah Jane Trent and the two guys. My question is, when you got there, somebody must have led, the discussion between the two of you, because those two already had actually, made their disadvantage known to you. Okay. I just want to put to you that you were actually leading that investigation. And secondly, Paul, when he got there, he took photographs. Not Mahlangu, not Binang, but Paul took photographs. Where are those photographs? What was he taking photograph for?
As far as I
What
can
did he do
recall,
with them?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Was General Patlane aware that you were coming to his place?
No,
So you trespassed.
no.
Did you have any permission to enter and do what you did there? Did you have his permission?
Not Paklane's.
If you did not have his permission, then you trespassed.
No, I don't think.
You were not police officers, were you?
No. We
You
were,
went there and you took photographs without his permission.
we were assisting the IPID investigators and
Okay,
went
I don't
in
care
with them.
whether you were
We
assisting.
didn't trespass.
No, I don't care. You were not police officers.
No, I never made out to be such
You
ever.
entered the premises of somebody without his permission. And to make matters worse, you took photographs of his place. To do what with the photographs? Okay. So I want to put it to you that you were leading that investigation. All right. When you came back from there, Lieutenant General, is that Mabula, opened a case of fraud and impersonating IPID against you. And you actually say in your statement that this investigation, namely the case that has actually been, or that had actually been opened by this general, was effectively a counter investigation into the corruption allegation against Patlana. That is you saying that, and only concerned itself with the manner in which IPID was conducting its investigation. Now, here is the crunch. It was clear to me, and that is you saying that, that Patlane was abusing his authority as acting commissioner of police to protect himself from investigations and reduce the credibility of IPID witnesses by requiring them to make additional, possibly conflicting affidavits.
Yes.
Why this? You invaded his privacy. Without his authority, you took photographs. Why should he not have opened a case against you?
We were not trespassing. There
What
was
did you do?
we were,
Did you have permission to go there?
no, it was, this was,
Then it's
okay.
trespass. That's private property, that one, isn't it?
Yes, but I disagree that I was trespassing.
What were you doing?
I accompanied IPID on their investigation into Paklani, and one of the parts of that investigation was the home. I did not trespass.
Are you aware of something called Patlane Task Team?
Yeah, is that what they refer the IPID team?
What does it do?
So what I know is in the beginning, the late Mantle Mahlangu, sorry.
Okay, who are involved there? Who constitute that Patlane Task? Is Paul O'Sullivan and who else?
Constitute the Paklane task team.
Yeah.
No, not Paul O'Sullivan. It was Mantle Mahlangu, at some time Cedric Nkabinde, Timani Binang, Mansara Pesu, and there was a couple of others, but
Robert McBride.
I don't know if he was on the Paklani task team, but obviously I don't know what his role was or how they had their meetings or
Mr. Nkabinde was seated where you are sitting
know.
right now. And he told us the composition of the Patlane Task Team.
Okay.
Paul O'Sullivan, Robert McBride, and the crowd that you have actually named right now.
Yeah, Cedric.
I wonder why you are running away from mentioning the name of Paul O'Sullivan.
No, Cedric Nkabinde must stop his lies. He's sorry,
And Nkabinde is a long associate of Paul O'Sullivan.
Eh?
They used to work together.
Who?
Nkabinde and Robert McBride at IPID.
Yes, I know. I met.
So
I met.
therefore, then you
Mr.
cannot say that.
Nkabinde.
You cannot say that Nkabinde
No,
is
I'm
a lie
saying
because he was one of the trusted,
implications when he was sitting here.
was one of the trusted, officers in IPID, was given to investigate
Yeah.
very, very, difficult and sensitive cases. Okay. The braai. You were very central in that because you invited people to come to the braai. Who was there?
The Angelique Sarayo, who is a journalist. She wrote a book called Kretcher. Then it was Cedric Nkabinde, Mantle Mahlangu, Robert McBride, Candace Kutsia, Anthony Fitzhenry, Shadrach Sabia, Paul O'Sullivan,
General Spear.
General, sorry, yes.
Okay.
Myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Was it a braai, a book launch, or a meeting?
It was a braai. Okay, so I went and got the meat, and Angelique came with her books, and Paul had a document called Joining the Dots, and we had a braai, and it was about 2 hours, and there was no discussion on taking Arab Spring, overthrowing the government or anything like that, unless going through the document Joining the Dots was, but that had been released, a media release or whatever.
You actually classified that gathering
Yes.
as top secret.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
Okay.
The invites that you sent out to people actually was saying top secret.
Okay.
So much so that when this thing actually was leaked, there was a great deal of panic. Don't you remember that?
I remember the panic, yes.
The panic, yes. Why panic over a braai?
Yeah.
Why
I don't,
panic? Why did you panic?
no, I didn't panic. There was this huge thing about what had happened at this braai, which hadn't happened. That I wasn't saying I panicked. It seemed like there'd been some or other information, or I don't know what the story was there.
You actually have confirmed that Mr. Nkabinde was there.
Yes.
Mr. Nkabinde, seated where you seated right now, told us that in fact it was not a braai. And neither was it a book launch, but it was a top secret meeting to actually concoct a plot to ensure that General Pahlane does not become, is not confirmed as the National Commission. That is what Nkabinde
Okay.
said. So that is why there was panic when that gathering and the issues that actually were discussed there had been leaked. And then, so what is your take on that? Would you still maintain that it was a braai? Obviously, when you met there for some time, you would obviously have something to eat. But the purpose of the gathering was to actually was not just for a braai, it was a meeting. Do you have anything to say?
I never saw it as a meeting.
Why did you actually classify it a top secret?
That was, I can't remember.
Where was
remember.
that?
It was in
Where was it discussed?
that,
would imagine that
I would have,
when you were
Paul
doing-
would have told me to send what to send, and
Oh,
to,
was it
at whom
Paul who
to,
sent?
and to whom to send it to. So I probably sent it to everyone, but it wasn't me, Sarah Jane, Trent inviting. Am I answering your question?
Could it have been Paul who actually said that, hey, look here, Sarah, because I don't want issues that would be discussed there to leak. Put just right on the invite, top secret.
It's something he would do, to say top secret, because it's just what he would do. But I don't know. I just wrote it and sent it as split.
Yeah, can I put it to you?
Yes.
You know, that IPID is captured by Paul O'Sullivan, Sarah Jane Trent, Robert McBride, and a few others.
No.
How often do you interact with Spear,
I met him.
General Spear?
I met him twice at that braai, and once I went to, when he was at the city of Johannesburg, I just went to get a document or something of his, or
Was
what
he
I was,
only general invited?
yeah, that was, the people that I named are the only people that were there.
Does he frequent your offices?
No.
Who actually invited? Who put him on the list of invitees?
To the braai,
Sorry?
to the braai. Who puts
General
Jacob de Beer
Speer.
onto the list for the
Who
braai?
compiled the?
No, that, Mr. O'Sullivan.
Okay,
I didn't get a +1.
okay. Listen to what do you know Advocate Mashuha?
Yes.
Okay. Listen to what he has to say. And I'm quoting him. He was seated over there yesterday.
Yeah.
He said, the objective facts set out in this affidavit, and in particular, the evidence emanating from O'Sullivan and Trent. You are Trent, isn't it? Clearly demonstrate that IPID, to the contrary, was captured by O'Sullivan and Trent. What do you have to say?
I think it is a ridiculous thing to say when capturing IPID or an institution, it needs a lot more than a couple of illegally downloaded WhatsApps to show capturing. The criminal justice system has been captured for a hell of a long time. It's not just now that this is happening. It's been a long time, and it's very, very broken. And sorry, I'm not going to ramble.
One of my colleagues actually asked you about the Section 205 subpoenas.
Mm.
And listen to what Advocate Mashuha had to say about that.
Mm.
The evidence clearly demonstrates that Trent and O'Sullivan even went to the extent of preparing Section 205 subpoenas and statements, which were presented as if they were compiled by IPID officials.
When you say presented, presented to whom?
Subpoenas and statements which were presented wherever, could be court or wherever, as if they were compiled by IPID issue. I think the operative word here is as if.
Okay, I think it would be issued to whom? It would be one thing if
In other words, you prepared those statements as if they were actually prepared by IPID. You prepared these documents for IPID to actually prove that IPID actually is in the palm of your hands.
No, I disagree. I think it would, yeah, no.
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chairperson.
Thank you.